One thing I'm feeling lately, and probably for the last few months, is I really don't feel like I'm releasing the club. I really feel like the club is just coming in like with a ton of angle close to the ball, and I'm just at the last second hoping to save it somehow, extra rotation, and I don't want to say flipping the hands because I really don't think I am flipping the hands. And when I say flipping the hands, I don't think I'm releasing the angle that I've created between my forearm and shaft, which is sort of your lag in traditional terms. So this is great for speed, this is all good, but if I continue to hang on to this through impact, it's actually not really how you should be striking the ball. Good players certainly have a lot of lag, but as they come into impact, the angle is released, strikes the ball, and releases through impact. If I'm constantly hanging on to it, it really explains why I'm seeing a lot of blocks and pulls and kind of ugly low ball flights, especially with my driver. So I'm going to work on something a little unusual, which is I'm literally going to work on releasing the angles a little bit earlier, a little bit more. Again, this is not for everyone. If you are the type of person who delivers excess loft, if you hit the ball too high and too spinny, slicey, those type of things, this is probably not for you. But if you do feel like you hang on to it and you kind of flinchy I feel a little bit flinchy at impact. I don't feel like I'm swinging freely through impact. I think this might be the type of thing you might want to work on. So first few swings, what I've done, I put the green further than I normally hit 9-iron. I'm putting it at 160. I want to encourage myself to add some speed, because by adding speed, I think it will help me release the angles at the bottom of the swing. So that's a prime example of a really bad swing where I did not at all release the angles. It's short, it's left, it's ugly. It's the opposite of what I want to do. So it's very inside out. There's not much club or ball speed on it. Face is wide open. So let me start to really feel that I'm releasing those angles. Much better. So you can see that we've got a little more club head speed, a lot more ball speed. Didn't strike it the best, but it's actually better. It's funny, better angle of attack and better path. So in a bizarre sense, by hanging on to the angles, I'm also keeping the club way back here versus allowing the club to release naturally, which would bring it a little bit more neutral. Again, this is not for everyone, but if you're noticing the fact that you're hanging on to it at impact, you feel like you're steering the ball, this might be a good feel for you. It's certainly, for me, I'm just experimenting, but it's starting to feel pretty good. Again, trying to really release the angles there. I don't know how good of a job I did. It's not bad. That was close. Let's say I kind of hung on to it a little bit. That's an interesting one. I hit that really thin, but for me, I tried to feel that versus normally my left arm stays way behind my right, maybe even past impact. I tried to feel like my left arm passed my right through impact. And this is a very sort of basic release feel, but I'm at the point where I feel like I'm not releasing the club at all, and that's not a good feeling. And I think that's why I'm struggling on the course a bit, because I'm not releasing the club, at all. I'm so afraid of hitting it right, I guess, that I've stopped releasing the club. That felt really good. You can see the height come back on the ball, the straightness factor. It's a little longer than my normal 9-iron, nothing crazy, 4 yards. I'm okay with that. It's a bit of a pull. It's a 110-foot 9-iron, which isn't crazy high, but when I'm hanging on to the angles, I've been hitting some 80, 90-foot 9-irons, which is not right. I should be hitting the 9-iron at least 100 feet in the air. So for the purposes of this drill, yes, I need to exaggerate it and hopefully see some 110, 120-foot ball flights. That was a really good rep. Really felt the left arm pass the right. One thing I'm noticing, which I'm not trying to swing a 9-iron as fast as I can by any means, that's not really the point, but when I was at the beginning of this session, even before I started filming, when I felt like I was still hanging on to the club for too long, club head speed was around 89, 88. Just from feeling a better speed of release, feeling the hands actually working in the swing, I've gotten it over 92 a couple of times. So it kind of indicates that there's definitely been some leakage inefficiency going on where I'm not allowing the club to release. It is a speed kind of killer if you find you're not swinging as fast as you used to. This might be the type of thing that's going on in your swing. That felt really good. I know I left the face a little open, but it's pretty good too. And this is something I'm going to have to really work on for some amount of time, because I think, unfortunately, I've really gotten in the habit of hanging on to those angles. I'm going to hit one, try not to think about this, and hit one. You guys tell me what you think of the look of this swing versus one where I release the hands a little bit more. This is just a stock swing from before. Again, I'm seeing a bit of that on the course. It's a push. That may be a bit of an exaggeration, but let's take that as a benchmark. So you can note the body language of that swing, how it looked, a little bit steery, a little bit pushy. Versus this one, I'm going to really try to release it. Left arm passing the right, or trail arm passing the lead arm. That's a good one there. It felt much better to me. And that's really all I'm trying to feel, is that I let the angles come out. It's not happening from the top, obviously. I don't want this, but I certainly don't want this feel, which is what I've had. You want this feel if you're flippy. If you're watching this video and this is your tendency, you can just do the complete opposite of what I've been saying. I've been feeling too much of this. If you're flippy, maybe you can feel a little bit more of that. And by that, I would say, don't just try to hang on to angles. Do some drills where you try to feel your arms stay long in the finish. That's something that Larry taught me many times, is that if you are getting flippy, just feeling this way in the finish allows the club to come in a little bit more with an angle at impact into the follow through. If you let your arms go all the way, the tendency is to let the angles out a little bit earlier as the arms fold. So just a quick note, if you're watching this and you're kind of going, I'm the complete opposite of what I'm talking about, do that drill instead. Do that drill instead, and it should help you. Okay, let me finish with a couple good ones here. I'm going to really try to release these. That's not great. And that one's really good. It's subtle. It's going to be challenging for me, but the difference between letting the angles out and not is just night and day. And there's one where I really felt I got the angles out. So it's a challenging drill for me. It's a challenging feel. I'm just going to keep working on it. It's going to take a lot of reps, but I'm really encouraged by the results when I do get a good rep in. I mean, 93 miles an hour almost on that swing. Dead straight ball flight, path and angle of attack are good, strike is good, height on the ball is good. So that shows a lot of promise. But again, guys, just in quick summary, if you're watching this, if you feel like you're the type of person that kind of has to steer the ball on line, if you feel like the release in your swing maybe really doesn't happen, you don't feel a ton of speed coming through, you maybe feel it's a bit slow, this might be the type of thing you watch and make sure you aren't doing what I do, which is hang on to it for way too long. And if you're watching this and you're the complete opposite, and you feel like you're a little bit too flippy at impact, work on that drill that I mentioned that Larry has told me a few times, is feeling long arms in the finish. That will allow you to collect the ball a little bit more with some shaft lean and cover the ball nicely at impact and come through a little bit lower with your arms extend. And long arms finish just literally means extended long arms at the finish versus folded up. Okay, so hopefully that's helpful for you guys. Let me know in the comments if you're either or, if you do feel that kind of flinchy, steery motion at impact. Let me know if you think this might be the type of thing that's going on with you. I'd be curious, because I'm kind of searching for a little bit of a better feel at impact right now. Having a little bit of trouble on the course, hitting the ball on line. So curious what your feedback is. Let me know how the kind of the stock swing that I showed you looked versus the release swing. Tell me if you think I'm on the right track. Do me a favor, like the video and subscribe if you're enjoying. It does help quite a bit with the YouTube algorithm, just helps get more eyeballs on the videos. As I said, I need to do a better job of making sure I say this in the video, which is part of, that's my part of the deal. But if you can go ahead and like it and subscribe, it is very, very helpful for me in running the channel. Thanks for watching.